everybody, welcome to Meet Your Neighbor program. Your neighbor this time is Louise Fall. And she hasn't been here too long, but I imagine a lot of people have gotten to know you, but not enough about you. So I always start with where people are from. And I know you were born in Dallas.
Born in Big
But
D.
you wound up in Ohio very shortly.
Yeah.
And went to school in Ohio.
Went to school in Cleveland. I went through high school and through nursing school in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. And what was the hospital there?
Huron Road Hospital School of Nursing.
That's a
And it's still
well-known
existing.
one, I'm pretty sure, yes. And so then you worked there for about a year.
After I graduated, I worked for a year, and then I took a trip to Europe for 3 months with a girlfriend. My parents were born in Germany and Sweden, and all my relatives were over there.
So you found them.
I found them.
Oh, wonderful, yeah.
And we've met on a number of occasions through the years. But went to Germany and Sweden and Austria and Switzerland. I had first cousins and aunts and uncles in all those
wonderful.
places.
So you said you had 3 months?
3 months.
That's just great. I think that's wonderful. And so then you came back and you settled in, and then you found somebody to marry.
Well, actually, I had found him 5 years ago. Before that.
Oh, it lasted that long. Wow. He
And
waited, you waited.
Well, he had to go to college. I had to go to nursing school. And when I went to Europe, I had a really good time because the whole Dutch Air Force was on that ship.
Oh, wow.
They had been in the United States training to be pilots. And my girlfriend and I just happened to be there. So
You were the only 2 females?
only 2 young girls.
Well, it's really better to have a more balanced number, I guess. But anyway, that must have been fun. So then, here we are in about 1954.
When
And
I
this was,
came home from that trip, I think my Bill was a little worried, and so he asked me to marry him. And so we moved to Williams College in Williamstown for his last year of college. And I worked that year too, so.
Oh, and he was in the ROTC, wasn't
In
he?
the ROTC.
And so then he graduated, and then he went, through that he went to the Air Force.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And went to navigation school in Houston, Texas, Ellington Air Force Base. And that was a full year. I had my first baby that year.
What was it? A boy or
A
girl?
boy.
A boy. You wound up having 4
5 children.
boys and a girl.
No, 3 boys and 2 girls. The first
Oh,
4
I missed that.
were born a few days before my 5th wedding anniversary. So
They were close in
They were
age,
close.
and they were fun for each other, I'm sure.
my mother was horrified.
Well, might as well get it underway and have them take care of each other, so I would
And
think
then we
that's a good
had
idea.
another one 8 years after that, so the last baby.
So then you went to command staff school, I think.
Went to, after he was
Youth.
in navigation, as a navigator for 5 years, and then we went to Air University, and Bill was a instructor at Squadron Officer School for 4 years, and then went on to command and staff while he was still down there.
And then after that, you went to Germany.
First he went to Vietnam,
Oh, he went to Vietnam, and of course you didn't
and
go
I stayed in
anywhere. You
Ohio,
stayed, yeah.
close to my sisters and my mother and father. So, and then when he came home, we went to Germany for 3 years.
And how did that work? Did he ask for Germany, or did it just happen?
I think he asked for it, and in Vietnam he was in the reconnaissance F4, and in Germany he was in the fighter F4. I guess that's what it's
And
called.
this is Spangdahlem. It's near
Spangdahlem.
Luxembourg.
Near Luxembourg and Trier, France.
Trier, that's right.
So it's
Well,
in
and so he was there about what?
3 years.
3 years.
we learned to really love Mosel wine because it was very close to the Mosel River. And it was a wonderful 3 years because I had all those relatives over there that I got to visit again and show my kids off to them. So.
And, well, I think, and then they got acquainted. That was very, very lucky for you. You've had a lucky life, I know, because we've been through the whole thing. But anyway,
really lucky
okay.
life.
So then at the University of Nebraska.
Bill was a ROTC instructor for a couple of years. And then we came to the Pentagon.
And what do I have about audiovisual Eastern U.S.?
His job at the Pentagon, he was head of the audiovisual unit, which had a big archives for still photographs, and they served the Pentagon and Eastern United States and Europe as far as the audiovisual.
So were you able to travel around with him?
No.
No, you had to choose.
I was working.
Oh, that's right, you said you were
I
working.
decided my kids were in college, we needed a little extra money, so I went back to work.
And so, but you had a house in Annandale.
Yeah, it was in Annandale.
And he was the coach.
After
That was his,
that was when he got out of the
Yeah.
out of the military. He taught at for 8 years at private schools and did a lot of coaching and teaching history and English. His first job, he was athletic director, soccer coach, baseball coach, and basketball coach, and his learning curve was straight up.
oh, well.
But anyway, and he was doing less coaching and more teaching.
And so his classes were all over the United States.
When he was teaching high school, they were here. But then after he finished teaching, he joined a Close-Up Foundation in Washington.
Yes, and what does close-up mean?
It's sort of seeing Washington close up. It's for high school kids and teachers, and
Show them the sights.
We'll show them the sites, but sort of help them to learn about their government more and the legislative process. And they had a lot of workshops and lectures.
They come for about a week?
They come for a whole week. They stay at a hotel. And once the teachers get them to Washington, the teachers are no longer responsible. And Close-Up takes over. And Bill would usually take the teachers then, and they would go to Gettysburg and Baltimore and Williamsburg. And
he would decide where they should go.
he would ask them pretty much where they would like to go. They had some choices. And sometimes they just stayed in Washington, but it was neat for the teachers.
I wonder if they still do this.
They still do that.
They do?
There's another organization, American Civics, and I think a congressional outfit that does this. But I think Close-Up had brought in maybe a million kids through the years.
That's fantastic. And you never see anything in the newspaper about that. I wonder why you don't.
Sometimes on ESPN they'll have the kids in the audience, and
But I mean, Washington Post, why don't they print it? Say, look who's here and take pictures.
no.
They don't bother things like that. Well, we've been getting the Post forever, of course. But, well, no, I have something about Elder Hostel.
Oh, and then he was doing the Close-Up and Elder Hostel the last few years. It's just they took on Elder Hostel as another way of bringing in money and bringing in older people. So Bill pretty much has been doing the Elder Hostels the last 4 years.
And still doing.
Still doing it.
Still doing
but
it.
He did 3 this fall and about 3 or 4 last spring.
Does he have any particular kind of Elder Hostel?
Just
specializes?
Just the Washington scene.
Oh, I see, Washington.
The monuments and the Capitol and.
Well, now you were working.
I did.
Fairfax Hospital.
Fairfax Hospital.
OR.
After being home with my kids for 21 years, I got the courage and got an interview and they hired me. I was amazed, but
No.
they were just starting a new OR class, and I had done the OR back in my younger days. And so
Did you take a refresher course that you have to?
yeah,
Mhm.
but they paid me.
Well,
I took the course,
yeah.
and I worked for 12 years, and it was very exciting. A lot of work. But I was very proud of myself for having gone back. So.
Well, and then let's see, I have something here about your children. One child is a lawyer.
Yeah, oh, well, they're all in different things.
One in real estate.
But they're all on the payroll.
Well, so they're not home
They're not
fucking on
home.
mom and dad.
They all live in Fairfax County and within about 10 miles of each other.
So isn't that nice?
It
Everybody
is.
stayed. Ours went out west.
It is.
That's too far.
But jobs
Too
are
far.
here, and
Yeah.
that's just,
That's right. Well, you were a camping family
we were a camping family.
from the time the children were little.
Little, right, and Bill would always say there's 30 days of leave up, and then we'd take a big trip going out to the next assignment.
Well, did you have a trailer?
We had a pop-up trailer, the one that, the little box, and you wind it up and pull out the sides, but you're sleeping off the ground.
That's right.
So
That's much better.
we went through 3 of those, a Volkswagen camper bus.
And I
through the
know
years.
that you went camping with and without the children, depending on
It was a
when
lot
it
of
was,
fun
I guess.
camping without the kids too.
Yeah. Well, where all did you go?
All the national parks around the
Oh,
country.
we did a bit of that too.
And,
And the rangers are so friendly, and they tell you where you can
You
park.
have
and what
the
you
ranger
can do.
talks and ranger walks.
Yeah.
But one year, we took a year's leave of absence from our jobs, from teaching and from nursing. And we took our pop-up trailer and went all around the United States for about 6 months.
Wonderful.
So it
People
was
always say they're
pretty
going to do
exciting.
that and then don't do it.
It was so much fun.
Did you get up into Canada?
Not that trip, it was all
But,
with
no, not that time,
yeah,
but
but
another
we have,
time.
it was,
And then I have something here about, one time, you had 9 out of 14 days of
Oh.
rain.
that was a trip we went to Nova Scotia and around the Bay of Gaspé. Anyway, it rained 9 out of the 14 days. And coming home, we stopped at, I think it's Acadia National Park. They have
Yes,
a blue
right, yes.
grotto. Anyway, the waves come in, and then every once in a while, the wave really hits hard and splashes you. Well, we had our last set of dry clothes. And we got close to the cave, and the water went all over us.
And of course, it doesn't dry when it's
No, I got in the
raining.
car and pouted for an hour.
You know, did you have a little stove in there? But still, it
We
wouldn't
had
dry.
a stove.
Have a little stove.
And a little sink.
Wouldn't dry all those wet clothes.
And anyway. But in the most part, we camped more out west and where you don't have much
California,
rain.
went to San Diego,
Went to San Diego.
and of course, you must have gone to Disney World.
We went to Disney World in Florida and California.
And so you did a lot of camping. Well, now, you knew, so how did you find out about Falcons Landing?
I guess our good friends from church, Roger and Marie Anderson, talked about it to us. And Bill's mother and my mother had lived with us over some period of time. In fact, Bill's mother died when she was 102 and 7 months. So, but we decided then that we were going to.
You were going to be long-lived.
Maybe Bill. Anyway, we wanted to be more in control of our destiny. So we thought we'd put our name on the list. We came out to Falcons Landing and thought it was really nice. And actually, we've been on the list about 7 years. But
Well, they said there was an 8-year waiting list. But I don't
There
know
was
if they
a,
really did.
we've been on it a long. Although we had
You mean they hadn't called you before then?
no.
Oh. well, I guess so.
But we hadn't put $10,000 down, I guess that's.
Oh,
when-
well, yeah, that
But,
had to be your earnest money.
Yeah, and then when the incentive came out this spring, we thought, that might be the good
Well,
time
from
to
time to
do.
time, that's what they
Yeah,
do.
yeah. And,
They offer
we thought
incentives, and
it-
that's how we keep it full.
And then our house sold so fast. But it was very exhausting, fixing the house up to sell, selling the house and, moving out.
How long did it take to sell, was it?
5 days to sell.
5 days.
And we weren't expecting that.
Some people had
We were
to wait
expecting.
months to sell.
Well, that's what we thought.
Yeah.
And so we really,
Some people are lucky, I just tell, it just seems
Just
like
lucky.
everything you win, you're a lucky
Absolutely.
family.
we're
You
a
really
very
are.
lucky family.
And so, and what about San Diego then, did you go?
That was just this past
That
fall.
one of your-
Yeah, we
Oh,
had
that was the
some,
latest trip.
our latest trip. We have friends in San Diego who invited us to stay at their condo. And my sister's in Santa Barbara. So
Did you
we,
stay a month or so?
actually about 2 weeks.
Oh, just 2 weeks.
But California's beautiful, and it rained in San Diego, and which my sister was just
Never.
thrilled about.
I say
She
San
said,
Diego is the land of the
They
relentless
were
sun.
just thrilled to get the rain.
We have
So,
a daughter there, and I swear we've been to visit through the years and never rained.
No.
Never rained.
They needed it very bad.
Well, and I guess you have some grandchildren.
I have 13 biological grandchildren and 2 by marriage. And,
That's
so-
15.
I know.
Wow.
And they're all in Fairfax County.
Isn't that amazing?
Some of them are away at college, but
Well, how did you manage to keep them all
just
around where
don't
you
know,
were?
just luck again.
I guess so, because sometimes they want, like ours went out to the West Coast and decided they liked the West Coast. I say that's too far away, but I never convinced them they were Easterners, so that's what happened. Well, I guess that's just about it. You're very happy here, I'm sure. Are you doing anything special, or have you signed up for anything?
I did sign up for the Head Start
Oh,
program.
that's good.
But pretty much I've just been sort of meeting people
Right.
and enjoying the facilities.
You're not a bridge player?
Not really. I went to the
No.
beginner's class, but I'm not sure I'm going to do that.
Well, the point is to come and play,
Yeah.
and that's how you learn. You read the newspaper or whatever.
But being an
Anyways,
old
we
nurse,
can-
I'll probably maybe try to help at the wellness center, so.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm
They always
just
can
sort of
use
taking
people.
my time. so.
Right, they always can use people at the health center. And then, of course, there are party committees and all sorts of things that you want to get involved. They have meetings, so it gives you something to do.
So,
How about, you don't play golf or
No,
tennis or
no,
anything like
no,
that?
But
We
I
have
used
the
to be a
pool.
girls' field hockey champion.
Oh, wow, do you have a medal?
I have a
I
letter.
bet you do, you should have. Or is it a plaque?
No, it's just varsity
But
letter.
well, I think
That was my only
that's
claim to
a
fame.
real accomplishment, right.
But
Yeah,
I think you get a lot of exercise in nursing and
Mhm.
and bringing up kids. And,
Well, sure. Well, now,
So-
what are your grandchildren's ages?
the youngest is 3 months old and the oldest is 27.
So that's a
it's
pretty good
range.
spread, I would say, yes. Well, I guess we sort of covered the waterfront. I appreciate your coming. And remember, this is Louise Fall, and when you see her, you'll say, oh, I know all about you because I watched you on TV.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I appreciate you coming. Oh, I want to thank Dan and Mr. Bill. I should have.